James. So today I'm back to talk about how I plan to level up financially in 2020. So a brief background. Okay, I've got my laptop in my lap, so I'm going to keep looking down. A brief background. Growing up, I wouldn't say we were like poor or wealthy. I would say we were like somewhere in the middle. But my mum, who was basically the main person that imparted like financial skills onto me, she never seemed to have quite a handle on like money. Like it seemed like she always wanted stuff but never was able to really maybe like get stuff or had plans to do stuff, but things would keep coming up and she couldn't manage it and stuff like that. And then so that was kind of, I thought that was normal, like, oh, I want this but I can't quite manage it, things happen. So that's something that I thought was normal. Also, it really discouraged me from credit. She always told me that credit cards are really bad, I should never get one, and so I was really averse to credit cards. Like when anybody would say credit cards, I'm like, no, not me, I'm never getting a credit card. So as I've gotten older and like I reached kind of my early 20s, I started to like think more about it, and I was like thinking about getting a credit card. But that limiting belief that was sort of instilled in me, where my mom told me never get credit, was like very much prevailing, and I was kind of like, it seems cool, but I still don't feel like getting a credit card. Anyway, this year I finally got a credit card. Oh, backtrack. The other thing that she did teach me that was good was that debt was really bad. It was good, kind of, but obviously now I know that debt is not always bad. There is like good debt and investments and stuff like that. Like, anyway, so that was good. So I never liked owing people money. I never liked. She told me debt wasn't good, and so I never liked owing people money or owing anyone money. So that was good. So yeah, in my early 20s, okay, so then I became an adult. I went to uni and I had my first taste of some money with my student loans and stuff, and like my maintenance loans and stuff. I never went crazy. I wasn't that person that was buying like designer this and designer that with my maintenance loan and my student loan because I got money, but I always spent till the last bit of my money. I was never trained to save. So whatever money I had, that was the money I had. I didn't think about the future or think about how to save. So right now, like the savings muscle in me isn't very good. So even that thing of like, I have a lot of friends that would be like, even if it's £5 you can put away or something. To me, how I always thought was kind of like, well, I can do something with that £5. Why would I just have it sitting there when I can enjoy myself, So those are kind of like the beliefs I had. And now I'm 24 and I definitely think it's a bit late, but it's better late than never. I really need to take charge of my finances. I want to own a house, houses if possible. Like I want to do a lot more things, and I feel like I've been very undisciplined and very blasé. But financial literacy is actually so serious, and I feel like I wish I'd known this when I was 18. I didn't. I know it now, so it's something. Anyway, so the first thing I want to do this year is to improve my credit score. So my credit score was never actually bad because, like I said, my mum encouraged me never to have debt. So I didn't actually owe any money. I wasn't one of those people that got loads of credit cards out and like blew it. No, I just didn't have credit. I never had credit for anything until I was 23. Never had credit. So I recently got my first credit card, and I just use this tiny bit on it and pay it off fully every single month. And that's really helped with my credit score. It's helped boost it. So that's one of the things. And there are loads of things you can do to improve credit. I might make a video about that later, but that's the main thing I want to do. Work on building my credit consistently and using credit and using it wisely. Just so I can have a credit history. And I feel like that's a really easy way to improve your finances in the new year. The second one was when I was a student, so I didn't have credit, but I had a student overdraft that doesn't actually impact your credit because it was interest free as long as you're a student. And when you graduate, you still keep that student overdraft for a bit. And I found myself like, because I still have that account, I will dip into it sometimes, and I kind of sort of developed this attitude of like, well, it's my money, but it's not my money. It definitely isn't my money. And so one of the things I want to do is pay off that. It's not much, it's a very tiny amount, and I can do it pretty quickly, but I'm gonna break it down into sizable chunks, so that I'd rather not pay it all off at once. I'd rather pay it off in sizable chunks so it doesn't really seem like it's affecting me. So that's number 2. Number 3 is creating an emergency fund. Now, a couple of years ago, someone brought this idea up to me and I thought it was actually ridiculous, because I was kind of like, so you're telling me I'll have a couple of £1,000 sitting there just in case? Yeah, no. I could be living my best life. I could go on holiday. I could get new gadgets. I could da-da-da-da. Now, I wish I had taken their advice, but you live and you learn. Yeah, so I want to create an emergency fund because I feel like a lot of the time, because of the financial habits I've developed, I feel like I'm reacting to things that are thrown at me instead of making concrete financial decisions and being able to plan my steps and plan my life. I'm sort of reacting to any bill or reacting to anything that's thrown at me because I didn't build up proper financial habits when I was younger. But this year I really have to seize that and I really have to improve on that. I started, but this year I'm gonna be serious about it. The next thing I want to do to level up financially is get rid of my scarcity mentality. So growing up, I was always hearing people like, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, I don't have enough money to do this, making money is hard, just kind of like having the mentality that having a lot of money, making investments, doing all those things were out of reach and it's so difficult and it's almost impossible to achieve and only certain people can have it, or you have to be born in a certain family to have certain things. I feel like those kind of mentalities just really can impact the way you view money. And when you have a scarcity mentality, especially for me, I find that when I do get some money, sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know when next I'm going to get money or when next I'm going to be able to afford this. I better go ahead and quickly spend it and treat myself now. And I feel like that mentality can be so detrimental to actually laying a foundation for yourself financially for the future and even sort of wanting to create financial legacy. Because I don't want my children, if I have any, to have that kind of scarcity mentality. There is so much abundance in the world, there is so much money to go around. If you play your cards right, everyone can have money. Money's not running out. So getting rid of that scarcity mentality is something I definitely want to get rid of. Not just financially, actually, in everything. Scarcity mentality, no. The next one is I want to live more frugally. So I want to cut back on my spontaneous spending, emotional spending, my treat yourself moments, my I don't really need this but it's on sale kind of spending. And I want to just really take charge of every pound that's going and coming and being able to account for everything. Because when I see people with these financial spreadsheets, it just seems so grown up, they're telling you no, I spend this amount on this every month, I spend this amount on this. I couldn't tell you right now how much I spend on X, Y, and Z because I just kind of spend it, and I'll kind of be like, oh, I don't want to spend too much, but how do you quantify that, And yeah, so I just want to live more frugally, live more within my means, and trying to actually live way below my means and try to just maintain a certain amount of expenditure and keep trying to improve my income, which is the mistake I've made. When I make more money, I try to spend more money, and obviously that is just not good. So I want to, the next point is I want to invest in skills and experiences rather than investing in things. So I want to invest in things that will actually help me grow as a person, help me improve, help me learn new things, and are more tangible rather than, like I said, spending on a sale or little things that kind of make you happy in the moment but actually in a couple of months time and when you're asked about it you can't even remember where you put it in your house. I want to invest in things I used to be really into art and I haven't done that in years, so into an art class because that's fulfilling, it's rewarding, and it's an actual experience and a skill that I can use and that benefits me more than just having a thing. Instead I have a skill which that can't ever be taken away from you. Once you learn something, you're not gonna have it taken away from you or unlearn it. You can't lose it if you keep, you know, practicing, obviously. So yeah, and the last thing I want to do is take side hustling more seriously. I feel like I have so many hours in the day where I just sit down, watch YouTube, scroll on Instagram, do this and that and that and that. And I want to take side hustling and earning money on the side more seriously, because like, just going back to valuing money, like even if it's 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds you're making weekly or something from a little side hustle, like that actually adds up throughout the year, and you can actually use that to invest or add to your emergency fund or add to something else. And yeah, like it can be really helpful, and I just want to make more use of my time and make my time work for me, so that later on I don't have to do that. Like I'm getting interested in that whole FIRE movement. I don't think I'm even there yet to start like fully getting into it. Maybe not next year, who knows, but the thought of just being able to retire really early and not work and like take charge of your finances is, yeah, it's really good to me. And also a bonus one, if I, you know, sort out my savings and sort out my, you know, everything else that I have to sort out, I would like to like just learn a bit more about investing in stocks and bonds and see if I can make that work in my life. But overall, I just want to be more aware and make things work for me, rather than just consistently reacting to whatever life throws at me. So I'm going to be making spreadsheets. I'm going to be being strict and disciplined with myself, because I deserve that. And yeah, a form of self-love sometimes is not going out and buying a tree. Sometimes a form of self-love is saying, no sis, that is not actually good for you. Don't do that. Anyway, thank you for listening. Yeah, let me know how you're planning to take charge of your finances in 2020, and I will see you next time. Bye.